We're going to examine how we can use the STATA package in order to estimate data envelopment analysis problems. I'm going to be using data that I've got in this Excel file, book1.xlsx, which I'm storing on my desktop. And I'm going to need to convert this first into a STATA file. And to do that, I will use stat transfer. Double click on stat transfer, browse for the file which is on my desktop. It's called book1, and then in this lower part I ask for a standard STATA file. I click on transfer, exit stat transfer, and you can see that the file has appeared here as book1.dta. If we double click on that, we get into STATA, and we have 4 variables listed. These are the 4 variables in the data set. You can see them here. The data has transferred across. The first thing I'm going to do is rename these variables. So I'll rename C1 as DMU. This must be in lowercase. DMU stands for Decision Making Unit. I'll rename C2 as Labour. I'll rename C3 as Machines. These are the 2 inputs in our DEA, and I'll rename C4 as Sales, which is the one output that we're using. And you can see the names of the variables have changed over here in the variables pane of the window. Now, the next thing I need to do only needs to be done the first time that we use STATA to evaluate a DEA problem. There's some initialization features that we need to call on. And the first of these tells the program where it wants to dump the installation files for the DEA package that STATA will use. So we type in sysdir, which is system directory, and we set the plus package, plus is in uppercase, to a part of the computer that we have access to. So this depends on where you're doing this from. If you're doing it from a home computer, presumably you have access to any directory. On a work computer, you may only have access to some of the directories on the machine. So I know I've got access to the do file on my C drive, which I keep in this place. Now for you, this will be a different path, but it just needs to lead to any directory on your machine that you can actually create files in. So I set the system directory to this place, and that's where the installation files that I'm just about to access will be dumped by the program. We go into search and we search for data envelopment analysis, and that gives us this ST0193, which we click on. We click here to install, and that installs the package into STATA. Once that's done, we can click out. We need to do that just the first time that we run a DEA on STATA. Afterwards, it's very, very easy to run a DEA, although the functionality within STATA is pretty limited. A straightforward DEA, we type the command DEA, then we list the inputs, in this case labour and machines, we put an equal sign, and then we list the outputs, and in this case it's just sales. Hit return, and we get the results. Easy.